Hello all, we finally have a release date for Phase 2, the 8th of February. I do hope everyone is still enjoying Phase 1, I know I am. If you're unsure what to do and you'd like to prepare a bit for Phase 2, then perhaps these tips will be very handy. I personally have taken it very slow during Phase 1, with family commitments and Christmas in between, and a very active 1-year-old, and I still have a ton to do, or there's still a ton I'd like to do before Phase 2 is released. The first thing I would do is grab all the current flight paths that you might need currently on both Kalimdor and Eastern Kingdoms. Go grab Ratchet, especially if you still need the rune from there. Take the boat to Booty Bay and grab that one as well, so you have a flight path for Phase 2 in Stranglethorn Vale. If you're Alliance and you'd like to do some Shadowfang Keep, head over to a little harbour and run from there. Grab Arati Highlands on the way there and then South Shore. A top tip when you're out exploring is to check the different vendors in the higher level zones for time-based recipes or patterns that you might need in Phase 2, or for the gold-savvy ones among us, if you'd like to sell them for a profit in Phase 2. There's quite a few good ones that might have slipped the minds of most people, and that might yield quite a profit when they are trying to level their professions during Phase 2. When you're level 25 and strapped for cash, go do some quests. The experience to gold multiplier is active, and you can get quite a bit of gold from doing quests in your level appropriate zones, or even lower level zones. I personally am Alliance and I'm finishing Darkshore and Ashenvale quests, because I rarely ever quest her on any quote unquote classic server, or a normal one. This will give you plenty of gold you could use to buy your mount at level 40. Now be aware, the price for the mount has been reduced, so it's not a full 90 gold anymore. If you're worried you might miss out on experience if you do all these quests, Blizzard is looking into this. They're looking at ways for people to still get the experience needed to level and not be stuck in any particular zone or for the need to grind mobs. They've mentioned they might come up with a way to get more experience on the waylaid supplies. I know it's not everyone's favorite subject, but it's one way to get more experience. On the topic of gold, you can get some nice amount from fishing as well. I started fishing recently, and I'm now at fishing level 120 or something like that, and I've gained quite a bit of gold just from selling the fish I caught, not even including crafting materials from the different trunks you can fish up. You can get mats for leatherworking, alchemy, and tailoring in those trunks. If you want to keep them for yourself, if you want to level your professions beyond Phase 2, keep them, or you can sell them on the auction house for a nice profit when Phase 2 starts. Perhaps it's a tad late, but if you have crafted items you like to sell while leveling your professions, I would suggest do it now, while people still have active alts at the max level. This brings us smoothly into your professions. Do level them. All of the crafting professions are changed, so they can actually craft some really strong items during the particular phases. Think about the epic items a leatherworker, a blacksmith, or a tailor can craft in Phase 1. I'm sure the other professions will get some love as well real soon, I hope. And they're currently capped at 150, so it should be relatively easy to max it out. And it's easier to complete them now than do it at the end of Phase 2, where it's a bigger number. For some people, it's a bigger hurdle to overcome. The gear you can craft during leveling can be really handy in Season of Discovery. Usually, you wouldn't bat an eyelid if you craft a green item in a normal server or normal classic server, because you'd be out leveling it very, very quickly, or it'd be too low level for you to wear by the time you actually level your professions. Also, don't neglect your secondary professions. As mentioned before, go level your fishing, because I'm sure the advice at the end of Phase 1 is still applicable for the end of Phase 2 there. Grab some silk cloth, if you can get it now, and stockpile them, so you can immediately level up your first aid. Saves you a bit of gold if you want to buy them through the auction house, or time if you don't want to go and farm them out in the open world. Now this speaks for itself. Go get your remaining runes. Not all runes are created equal, but you might want to collect them all. A whole bunch of new runes will be added to the game in Phase 2 for different slots. You might as well grind out those last runes you need in Phase 1. Even if it's not something you'd use right now for your current spec, it might become very viable in a later phase, maybe in a combination with a auto slot rune. With the level cap still at 25, and it's quite easy and quick to level one, it might be a great time to start an alt and discover what that class has to offer. I currently have a paladin, but also roll a mage, because mage healing looks very, very interesting. And the warlock, because, well, that demonic tanky boy looks so cool. It's still possible to do this at 40 as well, but it's a bit of a bigger hurdle to do it, and it might seem more daunting for some people than it actually is. If you're a PvP enthusiast but hate the current state of Warsong Gulch, you can also wrap up with the Ashen Veil event, at least until Revered. When you do hit Revered, you'll be able to get the higher level items and get some nice gear beyond level 25, so you got that from the get-go. Now, these are just a few tips you can do to prepare for Phase 2. I, for one, am looking forward to Phase 2, and I'm going to use all my game time I have as a very busy dad of a 1-year-old to actually prep for it. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. And if you'd like to see more content like this, feel free to subscribe.